with trucking companies across the nation. But with that, there still is capacity. But we navigated, we stuck it out, and we just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And then finally, we're really starting to see the fruits of our labors. And we're really starting to hone in on, the marketing and really growing the business and, just finding out who our customers really are and, chasing after the right ones. Now, with that said, do you guys got anything else to add as far as how the pandemic was?
Well, I think we were able to bring on our first independent sales agent.
Yes.
We looked at a few other ones, and then we brought on a part-time employee.
Yes.
So we were very fortunate, and I think that kind of attests to the fact that our customers trusted us. And I think, to a lot of to what you said,
Absolutely.
is, just kindness and compassion and honesty. And, we were able to provide that to our customers. And, in a very uncertain time, we were able to provide a dependable service. So, we were fortunate.
Yeah, we're very fortunate we were allowed to continue to operate. I know this is called transportation, but you may have surmised by now we're talking about freight and not the bus lines, which they all got hit pretty hard. But we were very lucky to be in an industry that has to keep going. I mean, things have to keep getting delivered, things like that have to keep going on. So we were lucky in that sense that we were able to keep working, and also in the sense that we were able to find customers and keep working with the ones we've been working with this whole time. So
actually experience some growth.
Yep,
that was the nicest part about it. That was the sad part was, looking around the valley and, seeing some of the small business owners, really take a hit. And a lot of people shuttered their windows and closed their doors, and, they're done. So my heart still, it's going out to them, still today. And I pray for them. And I really hope, don't give up, try again, and things will bounce back. I really have faith that things will get better. But I guess to end it, I got a quick poem here, and it's been in my mind since I started this business. Actually, a real dirty-minded man up in New Hampshire shared this with me one day. But he's a very smart man, very talented in the industry. And it's called Go All the Way, and it's by Charles Bukowski. And it reads, if you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, and maybe even your mind. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision. It could mean mockery. Isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. All right, that does it for us. Thanks a bunch, and we appreciate everything Youngstown Score has to offer.
Yeah, ask for questions.
And if anybody has some questions, feel free.
Yeah, so I had a couple questions if you guys didn't mind. So my first question for you guys will be, what was your biggest challenge when COVID hit? How did you guys adapt
Sean,
to the tough time?
Can I hear you?
Hello?
Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, one second here. I don't know why I can't hear you on my computer. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. You guys can just talk to there.
All right.
And I'm still up here.
Okay.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Awesome. So my question for you is, what was your biggest challenge since COVID happened? Like, how did you guys adapt through that initial happening of COVID striking?
For us, we at first, there was the closures. A couple people shut down. There was like a week or two. It was kind of just up in the air. And I think with that, we kind of just crossed our fingers. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, we were lucky that we were able to still operate. we didn't really know, like, as far as our sales and marketing stuff goes, a lot of that's going door to door, talking to people, shaking hands. So that was completely eliminated. So, you know, we really had to rethink, like, how are we going to get out there? How are we going to do this? And how can you talk to somebody in this situation? Like, how do you sell yourselves? And what can you really do other than checking on the customers you have and, you know, hopefully be able to provide them some value. So that's kind of what went through our head just in that order. I mean, there was no plan. It was kind of a week's worth of just trying to, you know, figure out what was going on. So our biggest hurdle though was just kind of trying to keep our communication open with people and not being appropriate by chasing people down when things are in a tough spot. So,
and luckily the industries we serve mostly were like asphalt products, refractory materials, steel products, rail car parts, locomotive parts. So, I mean, you got to imagine those facilities didn't stay shut down too long. They may have closed down for a few days to do a disinfecting. You know, and in those few days, I think that was the scariest part because you really didn't know what was going on. Everything was tentative, especially with the governors kind of just like up in the air with what they were doing. Obviously, Pennsylvania, I feel like got hit a lot more as far as restrictions for small businesses compared to Ohio was. For example, you know, the essential versus non-essential declarations that they made, which were total baloney. You know, if you read the federal court opinion, you'll realize in the record there that it was kind of messed up what they did up there. But, you know, I'm not a politician. I'm just a small business owner, so I'm not going to go into that too much. And at that rate, our customers kind of just kept coming back. And then for us, it was, you know, let's just start calling some of these other businesses in these industries. And, you know, we just kept moving along. And one of our biggest opportunities came through I'd say a year-long negotiation. We took on an opportunity where we were able to provide a entire warehousing and supply chain for an automotive parts manufacturer. And it went off great. You know, we had 500,000 tons of steel bars in Cleveland. And
we worked very hard. So I don't want to say we got lucky, but like the timing when, you know, the warehouse,
right,
you know, when everything kind of, you know, happened, that
absolutely,
that kind of, you know, helped us stay afloat through some, you know,
absolutely,
through some tough times. But I think what Jake said about some of the largest hurdles, you know, just open communication, whether that be with our customers, potential customers, or even truck drivers. Just, you know, because it, you know, the rates have been, you know, so inconsistent throughout this time. You know, being able to really communicate with them and kind of know where they're at, so we can provide, you know, accurate quotes to our customers.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things in this industry. If you can't quote it right, you're done. And with how volatile the market was during the pandemic, you know, rates were jumping. You know, they'd go from $3 a mile to $10 a mile within a period of a couple days. You know, I had carriers literally turn me down $10 a mile to just run 100 miles. It's going to give them $1,000 bucks, but you know, there was people paying really top dollar for things to move. Now, I'd probably say that was our biggest hurdle. But we really work with some really good companies as far as transportation providers and asset-based carriers. And, you know, they were really helpful in, you know, navigating the pricing as far as, you know, the actual available capacity. So for our customers, you know, nothing really changed as far as, you know, what we were able to provide for them. But for us, it was just a matter of having to navigate it on the back end a little bit differently. But, you know, we just roll with the punches, just like anything.
Okay, so I guess since I don't really know the industry too well, you talked about like some of your customers or whatever, like companies. Who exactly uses your services? Like what organizations or businesses like would come to you to ask to get things moved or shipped?
It could be anybody. You know, so we have services now that we're offering small package. So just think of think of us as a really, really small Amazon. So we provide all of these services. You know, freight transportation arrangement services is essentially what we do. You know, we have the online services through the transportation management software that has all those common carriers in it. So think of like, Window World, for example. That's a type of company that we would chase after. They have a customer that's buying their goods off them. My idea is that the shipping's probably included in that. We would be the type of company that would arrange for all of that transportation, pricing with the carriers, capacity and availability, and just make sure, things are getting picked up and delivered. So that's just one type of customer. Another type of customer can be a guy out in China who's manufacturing cymbals and just needs them imported in the U.S. for him and warehoused, just distributed when customers want to place orders. In that we provide the warehousing and sharing. And with that, we're starting to work with like foreign trade zones, bonding the warehouse, or at least sections of it. So a lot of people importing, exporting, manufacturers in general here, just think of, a refractory company. I think there's one local, Steel Valley Refractories. They just kind of ramped up, or like a Thermomax, or what is that, Forta Corporation or something, where they dealing in brick. But it could range from them to, someone just hanging out at their house, not doing anything, just importing goods, having an online profile. They bring them to us. We warehouse them for them. When they have an order, we pick, pack, and ship, deliver to the customer. So it's really anybody. Does that answer your question at all?
The short and sweet, I guess you could say, would be any kind of manufacturer, wholesaler, importer, exporter, and retail as well. So that's our main kind of things we focus on, like the heavier things, like people that do repairs and need things kind of transported to and fro in the U.S. and abroad. Really anybody like that. So anybody that's producing something is somebody that we can service.
Right.
That definitely answers my question. I was just kind of confused on kind of who you dealt with or whatever. But I guess finally, last thing for me was, so at Westminster here, the Entrepreneurship Center, we like to do market research and data analysis for small businesses in the area. If you guys would be interested in that, we'd be more than happy to take that on for you and kind of help you out with any questions or
Absolutely,
ideas you
man.
guys had in the future.
We're all about teamwork here at Steel Valley.